So guys, the Apple event is here. It's official. It's gonna happen on the 14th as projected in the previous videos. There were a couple of reports suggesting that it might be delayed, but no sir, it's happening. Let's ramble.
Hold up, things go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again. And if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is why I ramble about tech and other stuff. So the event is happening and it is called California Streaming. A little play on words for California Dreaming, and in true Apple fashion, there are a few Easter eggs for us to ponder. As was the case last year with the Spring Loaded event, Apple has hidden a little AR goodie for us on their event page, which you can find using your phone or your iPad. Just make sure you're using Safari, it does not work on Chrome, and I suspect it won't work on any other browser either. And what do we have here? Holy smokes, it's a damn portal. Do we go in? Are we gonna end up in Tim Cook's basement if we do? I haven't been very nice to him lately. Oh well, let's be brave, let's take the plunge. And looky-loo, what do we have here? Well, there is the date, which is obviously the 14th of September, but why is it in the middle of a lake? In the middle of nowhere, surrounded by mountains and stars? Let's explore, shall we? Well, the date is clear, so all the rumors of the potential delay of the Apple event are out the window, but why the lake and the mountains? Well, such a place is probably the worst spot to get any kind of cell coverage. Unless some company came up with an idea to connect their phones to low orbit satellites to make calls and texts even if there's no cell coverage. If we look up at those stars very closely, we might just see one. Or we could point our new iPhone 13 up at those stars and make use of that astrophotography mode. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Anyway, the iPhone 13 is very, very close to being announced, so let's recap. What do we know? We know that the iPhone 13 will come in all 4 current sizes, which I'm personally very happy about because earlier in the year there were rumors of potentially discontinuing the iPhone mini, and contrary to all my expectations, the mini is a phone I have grown very fond of. All models will have very similar designs to last year's models, which was to be expected. I mean, last year was a major design overhaul. People have been very positive about it, and it is not very likely that a company will drastically change the design again the very next year. We've seen reports of a smaller notch. John Prosser shared a drawing of what this might look like, and in the previous video I showed you this dummy model of the iPhone 13 Pro, which also confirms this, or at least the fact that the speaker grill has moved all the way to the top, which would indicate a smaller notch. Of course, there's gonna be a new chip, the A15, and of course, it's gonna be a little bit better than the previous one. Nothing spectacular there. The new iPhones are rumored to be getting a slightly bigger battery, which, if you have an iPhone mini, you will appreciate very, very much because the battery on that thing is absolute garbage. You will need a battery pack to make that even last till dinner time. I did a video comparing 3 of the best battery packs. I will link to that video at the end of this one. One of the biggest upgrades this year, much like any other year, is an improved camera system. We thought the camera bump would get a lot bigger, but judging from the dummy models we have, it looks like that is not the case. However, the lens casings are noticeably larger. And I know this is just a dummy, but the dimensions on these things are usually spot on, since they are used by third-party companies to base their accessories like phone cases on. Speaking of accessories, this dummy model was provided to me by Casetify, who happens to make awesome accessories for the iPhone. The cases they make are slim and protective. If you're new to the channel, you may have missed my drop test of these cases. I dropped one of these suckers from way up high using my drone, and apart from a couple of scratches here and there, on the case, not the phone, it was totally fine. You can customize every case to your liking, and you can even personalize it with your initials or some other text you like. What I personally like about Casetify is that they really try to mind the environment. All of their impact and ultra impact cases are made with 50% recycled materials made from upcycled phone cases. And they're shipped to you in 100% compostable packaging printed with eco-friendly ink. They also provide their cases with an antimicrobial coating, which I'm sure you will agree is not a bad thing to have right now. Plenty of bacteria going around, so it's a good thing to keep them off our phones. If you're thinking of getting a new iPhone 13 and you want something to protect it, you can't really go wrong with these cases. Go to casetify.com/PatrickRambles to get 15% off your purchase. Right, where were we? Yeah, cameras. The iPhone 13 Pro is rumored to get a bigger sensor shift, which is basically Apple's term for in-body image stabilization, and it is reported to get a 2.5 times telephoto lens. All of these features used to be exclusive to the Pro Max model. Now, last year, I told people to skip the 12 Pro and get the Pro Max instead. But if size is really going to be the only difference this year, Pro me up, baby, because that Pro Max is way too chunky. We also expect to see video portrait mode, at least in the Pro models, but like I said in earlier videos, I'm skeptical about that one. It doesn't look that great on photos. I can't imagine it looking much better on video. Other companies tried and they failed miserably. So let's see. Apple is also set to introduce ProRes, which is mainly interesting for video nerds like myself and maybe you. ProRes is a codec for video files we like to use in editing software like Final Cut Pro. It's fantastic, makes everything much faster and smoother, and if Apple can bring that to the iPhone, I will definitely be very happy about that. Especially since the cameras are getting better and better, and the chances of me using footage from the camera in my actual videos are increasing. We've seen rumors of improved Face ID, and in my opinion, that would be an absolute must in the absence of Touch ID. In an era of face masks, Face ID is almost just as annoying as the mask itself. It doesn't work. We need something better. 120Hz refresh rate is all but confirmed, and we will very likely be seeing storage options on the higher end models of up to 1 TB, which I used to think is ridiculous on a phone, but if we consider these new iPhones as video cameras, 1 TB doesn't sound so crazy anymore. Plus, I like to offload my camera footage onto my iPhone when I'm on the move, so using it as a quick hard drive to store my stuff until I get home will also be very, very convenient. The prices of the new models will either stay the same or increase. Digitimes did report that prices might go up because of chip shortages, and even though their accuracy rating isn't all that, a jump in the price could be realistic if Apple ends up introducing their low orbit satellite feature, which would of course be a game changer for anyone who travels a lot or who lives in a remote area. Of course, we've heard about some beautiful new colors like matte black, bronze, and more recently also sunset gold, and I'm pretty excited to see what they will look like. If it looks anything close to these renders, I'm in. By the way, I'll be giving you my brutally honest reviews of these phones here on the channel once they're ready to be shipped, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can join me for all that good stuff. According to YouTube analytics, less than 8% of you watching are subbed to the channel, so what are you waiting for? The iPhone is not the only thing Apple is expected to announce. We're also expecting the Apple Watch Series 7, which again is not expected to be a major upgrade, but rather a big design upgrade, which will give it a similar boxy design we see on the iPhone and the iPad Pro, and that most people seem to love, including yours truly. John Prosser reported that there might be a new color, green, for the Apple Watch, so that might be interesting for some people as well. And there will be new sizes. We're gonna go from 40 and 44 inches to 41 and 45 inches. In principle, that's not a huge deal. They're getting marginally bigger. But the question is whether that means all of your watch bands are now garbage. That would be a pretty douchey move by Apple, but let's be honest, they're known to squeeze us by making little accessories redundant, so I wouldn't be surprised. Most renders, like this one, show larger speaker grills, which could indicate listening to music directly on the Apple Watch, without headphones. Personally, I don't really understand why anyone would want to do that, but hey, to each their own. The S7 chip might help with battery life, which is still not great. Especially if you like using the sleep tracker, you'll have to find times during the day to take the watch off and charge it, which is not ideal. Especially if you compare it to fitness watches like the Fitbit that will last multiple days. But that's apples and oranges. Pun very much intended. AirPods 3 are rumored to be presented on Tuesday as well, and of course we're expecting a new and redesigned iPad mini and potentially even a regular iPad upgrade. No MacBooks, but we've heard several rumors now of multiple events this fall, and we will most likely see new MacBooks in October, and that's something I'm personally very much looking forward to because I'm still on my 16-inch Intel MacBook Pro and I'm dying to replace it. Let me know in the comments what new device or new feature you're most looking forward to seeing at this event. If you enjoyed the video, please give it one of these. It really does help the channel. Subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.